Dallas, some peak colors. Houston, moderate colors. Miami, well, it looks like as though Miami, they still have little to no colors, but once you leave South Florida and move on to Tampa and Orlando, there are low colors there. Jacksonville, too, but in the panhandle of Florida, some moderate to almost high colors are moving into that part of the state. New Orleans, moderate colors. San Antonio, they're getting some high colors right now. Parts of Austin. Los Angeles, moderate to high colors in some places, but once you leave high up in the mountains, past peak colors. Phoenix, moderate colors. Tucson, high colors. In San Francisco, they're getting some moderate colors. Sacramento, peak colors. And in Las Vegas, just a split between moderate to high to peak colors. Well, it's quite distinct, folks. It's quite distinct. Okay, so now let's talk about Drought Monitor. Let's see what we got. Okay, so there's less drought, but more. There's still more along Maine's coast. But plenty of extreme to exceptional drought in the panhandle of Florida, South Georgia, southeastern Alabama. Still some extreme to exceptional drought in southern Texas. Spotty places with some extreme drought from New Mexico and Arizona all the way up to Montana, Idaho, and northeastern Oregon, southeastern Washington State, and a little bit in parts of the Ohio Valley. Kentucky is drought free. Rhode Island too. California, it looks like as though their drought's being reduced dramatically. In North Dakota, almost as clear, and as well as for much Connecticut, and where else? And a little bit in Kansas, and as well as California, believe it or not. Alright, so now we go here, and then we go back to here. Now, what are we doing? Right now, we are going to talk about the 3-day forecast for the next 3 days. So we start off with tonight. That's right around the time everyone enjoys their dinner. So by tonight, we do anticipate that temperatures will be freezing from places like the northern plains, eastern Montana, all the way towards the interior parts of the Northeast, but it gets worse in the northern plains and upper Mississippi Valley and parts of the Great Lakes region. Very warm in South Florida. Relatively mild throughout North Florida, South Texas, desert Southwest, California. Milder temperatures along the West Coast virtually, and as well as parts of the Great Basin. I mean, you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Excuse me. This is for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, assuming that some people might go Black Friday shopping. This is the part where things get really cold, where very cold temperatures, freezing temperatures, will affect places from Montana all the way towards the Ohio Valley, and much of the Northeast is going to get very cold, but super cold throughout places like the Northern Plains and the upper to mid Mississippi Valley to the Great Lakes region. Still somewhat mild in South Florida for tomorrow morning, as well as much of Texas, and as well as parts of Arizona to parts of California. And much of the West Coast, though, seeing some mild temperatures. And then by tomorrow night, we do see below average temperatures, still a problem from Montana all the way towards the Ohio Valley and the interior parts of the Northeast. Gets worse in the northern Rockies, though, but still persistent from the northern plains to West Virginia. Very warm temperatures in South Florida to much of Texas, much of the desert Southwest, California, and mild in the West Coast. For Saturday morning, Small Business Saturday. Oh boy, look at all this. Very, very, very cold, very freezing temperatures in the Northern Rockies. Oh boy, wow, I've never seen colors like this before. So you guys are seeing what I'm seeing? Very below average temperatures all over throughout much of the northern part of the country. Though we're seeing very mild temperatures for the early morning hours in Texas to South Florida. It's still relatively mild, but still a little low in terms of temperatures throughout much of the West Coast. For Saturday night, by Saturday night, below average temperatures will affect places like the eastern side of the Cascades all the way towards the Great Lakes region, even though there will be freezing temperatures throughout the interior parts of the Northeast, but it's a lot worse in the Rocky Mountains to the Dakotas, and even upper Mississippi Valley to northwestern Great Lakes region. Plenty of warmth all along the Gulf Coast states. Mild temperatures from the desert Southwest to Portland, Oregon. And finally, throughout, let's see, Sunday morning, as you can see, very frigid temperatures affecting places like the Northern Rockies, even the Cascades, the Great Basin, all the way towards the Great Lakes region. A little bit of freezing temperatures in the interior parts of the Northeast. But then we do see some mild temperatures and warm temperatures in Florida and the southern tip of Texas, in contrast to, let's say, the panhandle of Texas as well. Southeastern Louisiana getting very warm. Temperatures start to dip down in the desert Southwest, California. Now let's talk about dew point. There's a lot of humidity in South Florida, South Texas, some humidity throughout the West Coast. That's for tonight, though, during turkey time. Black Friday morning. Still some humidity in the southern tip of Florida and southern tip of Texas. Tiny bits of humidity in western Texas, southern Arizona, central California, all the way up to Seattle. Hold on. Just stretching, folks. All right, and then we move on to tomorrow night, Black Friday evening. Plenty of humidity in South Florida and as well as much of Texas, but the worst part is in the southern tip of Texas. We do see some humidity in Kansas, as well as much of the West Coast, getting some humidity as well. Hold on a minute, folks. Okay, never mind then. As for Saturday morning, Small Business Saturday, plenty of humidity throughout the southern half of Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, tiny bits in Kansas, and as well as tiny bits of humidity in central coastal California. and in a few parts throughout the Pacific Northwest on the coastal side. And let's take a look for Small Business Saturday evening. Humidity, it's going to be all over Florida and parts of Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. Excuse me. There's going to be a lot of humidity, very juicy atmosphere throughout much of Texas and Louisiana. Yeah, it's a little bit humidity that's creeping up towards the mid-Mississippi Valley, Central Valley, California, and the Colorado River Valley in the lower part of the region, and a few parts in the coastal Pacific Northwest. Okay, and what about for Sunday morning? There's plenty of humidity in Florida and throughout much of the Gulf Coast. Tiny bits in Arizona, and very tiny bits in Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee. Tiny bits throughout central coastal California. Now let's talk about Cape. So let's see what we've got in terms of Cape for tonight for turkey time. It's going to be plenty of Cape in South Florida and the Florida Keys. Tiny bits of Cape throughout the interior parts of the Northeast towards Smoky Mountains, the Great Lakes region, Minnesota. Tiny bits in Idaho all the way to the Pacific Northwest. Some convection in the Sierra Nevadas to tiny bits, just isolated ones along the southern coastal parts of California. And now, starting going to a warning. Where's the Cape? Tiny bits of Cape are going to be throughout the interior parts of the Northeast, towards the middle part of the Appalachian Mountains, Great Lakes, isolated tiny bits of Cape from the upper Mississippi Valley to North Dakota, and tiny bits in the northern Rockies to parts of the Pacific Northwest, southern tip of Texas. Tomorrow night, Black Friday evening, at a time when everyone is going shopping. Plenty of tiny bits of Cape throughout much of the Northeast, Great Lakes, as well as parts of the Dakotas, in the northern Rockies, Pacific Northwest, and parts of Texas, and eastern parts of Florida. Saturday morning, Small Business Saturday morning, plenty of small amounts of Cape in Texas. Tiny bits in the Great Plains, parts of the Great Basin, Rocky Mountains, few parts in the Great Lakes region, to a few parts in the interior Northeast or northern New England. Oh yeah, and eastern Florida too. Now, what about for Small Business Saturday evening? Plenty of Cape in eastern Texas. Tiny bits in the Great Plains region, Great Lakes, few parts in upstate New York and northern Maine, and plenty of Cape, some Cape in Florida, but most of which is in the Florida Keys. And finally, by Sunday morning, there's going to be a lot of Cape in South Florida, and in the southern tip of Texas, tiny bits ranging from Houston all the way to Detroit, Duluth, Kansas City, St. Louis, as well as the interior parts, in eastern Oregon to northern Nevada, and western Texas, and even the coastal parts of the Northeast, like the New York City area and Boston. Let's see, I'm gonna leave it here and then I'm gonna switch back, which I'm gonna do right now. Okay, so this is the setup right now, folks. All right, and